Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call hold on you lie. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem. Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the Apostle Elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's your brother Isaiah. All right. Coming back again with another lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem. Racha HaKodash, Lord willing, lessons edifying. Spirit had me tune into this show. I thought it was a movie, and it turned out to be a show. And I said to myself through the Spirit, I said, "Hey man, if it's anything on here spiritual, I'll go into it." And sure enough, I was watching towards the end. There's some things that happen now. I want to try to get through these things without. Okay. Here's the first thing, right? Now, they show it in here as a bracelet. Okay, but we know what this represents. Just play a couple seconds to try to avoid tech. Wait, I gotta rewind it. See if I can go back. Play. I really don't want to show too much. 2, 3, 4. I don't know exactly how to break the algorithm. All right, you see her putting her wrist up to this, right? And see what she does. Boom. Boom. Her door unlocks. Okay. Want to show you that. See if I can. Hopefully I didn't skip the next. Yeah, I skipped it. Because I really don't want to. Okay, boom. You see it? Tap. Boom. She paid. Tap. Boom. She paid. All right. And so I just want to kind of, show that, that's the first thing. Okay. Yeah, I want to show you. All right. Is that the MOTB, as we know, the RFID, all right, technology, the near field communication, NFC/RFID technology, okay, which is the mark of the beast, okay, the microchip, that they want to implant in your skin, okay, this the C-hip as we call it, is the mark of the beast. Don't take the mark of the beast, or you will be forsaken by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, okay. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Lord will destroy you if you do not overcome the beast and his system. And if you worship the beast by taking his mark, you done. You through. It's a wrap for you. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. The Lord will fucking destroy you. All right. Excuse my French. But that's the skinny. That's the skinny of it, right? And then there's more a little bit, that I want to kind of show you. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid algorithm. Okay, now there was some, there's a lot to unpack, essentially he was working with the president. He got made privy to some secret information. And now the show is this is the first episode, show called Paradise. Okay. And now the show's about to reveal to you what the secret information was. Okay. He got this cryptic message from the president. All right. When the president is unalived. All right. And, if the Spirit hops on you to watch it, then, I don't want to ruin it completely for you. But the president left him a message. All right. Right here. His name's Xavier. So he got an X. It was like a signal. And then he pulls out this cigarette and there's a number on it. Like I said, I'm going to just pause for a few seconds. I don't know how you beat the algorithm, for the copyright, but I'm gonna just pause so it's not a continuous loop, because you pay too many seconds of something. I think when you play too many seconds of it, then that's when they kind of strike you. Anyway, boom, and there's no audio. Shouldn't be any audio. So now this sign behind him, it's making a noise. And I was curious. I'm like, what does this mean? It says dawn delayed by 2 hours. I'm like, dawn is delayed by 2 hours. What's this about? All right. And then as you move forward, it flashes back to when he was told that, there's an extinction level event coming in the very near future, blah, blah, blah. They're going to build they're going to build underneath a mountain in Colorado. which there are already underground cities. You know, these devils have ideas for 15-minute cities, okay, and things of that nature. And essentially then it zooms out to kind of show you that he's not living in a real city, okay? You know, it's fake, okay? It's all fake. There's the light that's supposed to represent the sun, and there, you know. So anyway, yeah, I don't want to get a copyright strike or whatever, you know. I played a lot already, but there you go. Okay, you kind of see. All right, so you know, there's a lot of things happening right now. You know, a lot of things are happening spiritually. Okay, you know, you had the elder out in Dallas give his testimony of angels manifesting and his wife seeing the angels that manifested around him. All right, so you have very heavy spiritual things that are happening. Okay, and more and more will we see these things manifesting and happening to different brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, of course the Lord, you know, the flock of the Lord's pasture is men, you know, but there were things in the Bible that happened, you know, where women experienced stuff, you know, where there was, I think, a woman where an angel came and talked to her, then she ran and got her husband, you know, so things happen, you know, but yeah, we're coming into those times, man, where, you know, and brothers have had dreams about these things where angels will manifest themselves. And, you know, there's been a lot of dreams that have been had of this nature in the past that I've been made privy to as well. So, you know, this is just what we're coming into, man, you know, but hey, World War III, you know, there's just a lot of stuff happening, man. And meanwhile, you know, this devil, he still has to roll out the mark of the beast, man. You know, the mark of the beast has to happen. The valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which is the Most High. His name is Yahweh. Okay, and the name of his son is Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh is the Heavenly Father. Yahweh. And then Shaphat means judgment. Okay, the valley of the Lord's judgment or the Lord's decision. Okay, where he's going to have all the nations gather to wage war. And eventually when Yahweh Shai returns, they're going to wage war against him. Okay. All right, so that still is, you know, we're seeing that happen. You know, I even came across some other information, you know, that will require me to study more. But you know, there's this Jake woman that posted a video about how, you know, the #1 producer of oil is the U.S. We're the #1 producer. All right, yeah, you got other people. The largest reserve is Venezuela. But, you know, let me see, the #1 producer of, let me say crude, I'll say fossil fuels. I believe it's the U.S., right? The United States is the world's #1 producer of fossil fuels, leading in both the production of crude oil and natural gas. The U.S. has held the top position for total petroleum. Let's look at the root word of that. Petrol. That's also what they call gasoline. Liquids production since 2018, with output driven by Shell, Texas and North Dakota oil fields. So why is gas automatically higher? Why is gas automatically higher if we essentially control? Do you see? So these things are being, what's the word? Look at this, oil production by country. The United States, we're #1. And we got more than half of what Saudi Arabia has, according to this number. So why is things automatically getting, because Esau wants to create this artificial lack, all right, so that he can create distress. And there's no coincidence that while gas is being raised up, what also is coming? There's another pandemic, another pandemio, as I call it. You try to be why, I mean, you know, sometimes the words are gonna be corny. All right, it just is what it is. Another pandemio. All right, this nigga's playing. You know, as the nigga woman likes to say, this nigga's playing in our face. All right, you know, but he's being revealed with the spirit of the Lord's mouth. Okay. Through the prophets, man. All right. And this is why we see right through this nigga and what he's doing. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Okay? This nigga's playing, man. You okay? He'll tell you ain't no gas. Meanwhile, nigga, we making this shit in our backyard. Man, my gas bill getting fucking high. But it's not the commodity that's high. It's the supply fee. You know, it's the supply fee. The supply fee is it costs double what the fucking commodity costs. I noticed in the recent months. All right, so he's creating a scarcity. All right, so that he can create an epidemic. Or I don't know if I want to say epidemic as much as I want to say an economic crisis. All right, so that we can have a negative outcome. Because what's going to happen as a result of all these things is people are going to lose their shit. All right, there's going to be a lack of bread, you know, a lack of finances, and people are going to start looking at each other, man. You know, which I've always experienced that. Living in the hood, man, I always experienced where niggas will look at the crumbs that's on your plate. But it's easier for a nigga, a lazy ass nigga, to look at you and what crumbs you got on your plate than to go over to Esau's neighborhood and take from his abundance. And it's less of a risk. The only thing he got to worry about is whether or not you want to unalive him or you have the means to unalive him. But if he got a gun and he got the means to take you out the game, he's that much less scared. And most Jakes, generally speaking, even though this generation is exceedingly through and wicked, generally speaking, I know speaking for myself, when I was in the world and even now, I just wanted to be left alone. I always been to myself due to different shit I went through, you know, with family and lack of trust and shit. I just wanted to do my own thing. And generally speaking, that's how Jake is. They just want to be left to themselves. All right. Now we understand being in the spirit that life ain't set up to be enjoyed, but our prime directives as Jake is to be, you know, what was the prime? Be fruitful and multiply, man. That was the prime directive. And most Jake just want to chill, man. Most Jake just want to chill. They just want to have their bitches, they whatever, they pleasures, and they just want to relax. Even though, like I said, we understand that ain't what life is about. But the flesh is, generally speaking, prime directive is comfort. But you can't do that in the hood. You can't just chill in the hood. You get robbed. You get your, you know, they'll take your bitch and fuck her. It's all type of shit. You can't be passive. You gotta be aggressive, or you gotta damn near be ready to kill a nigga, man. Okay? I'm going on a tangent here, but they're trying to create this hunger. And what do Jake say? If I'm hungry and I see you got a plate, I'll eat your plate. Even if your plate is almost as empty as my plate, you got a little more than me. I've seen it. Where do you think short stopping happens at? Well, you know, in the dope game and shit like that. All right. So nevertheless, man. All right. They put these things in these movies and in these shows, predictive programming to show you, to get you relaxed and comfortable with boop, boop. You just boop to pay. You got niggas saying that ain't, you know, that their Revelation 13 ain't got nothing to do with the RFID microchip. Man, come on, we just seen it in the movie, man. That ain't the only place. That's his real life, man. You can already tap with your phone, which that ain't in your body, so that's not it. But that technology is tied to it. And next thing you know, it's gonna be, well, you know, in being someone who studied tech. All right, the biometrics are some of the most secure methods of protecting information is by using a biometric key. Okay, your phone locks with a fingerprint. Facial recognition, to a degree, can be accurate, but your fingerprints are even more accurate. And then when they link it to biometric data using the RFID microchip, Salaki, it's going to be even that much more secure. And that's what they're going to use. Part of what they're going to use to push the RFID microchip. But it's also going to be convenience, because convenience is going to get a lot of people killed. Convenience will keep you broke, and it'll get you, and when it comes in regards to this chip, it'll get you unalive, man. It'll get you unalive. So, a call, Lord, Yahweh Hashem Shai for giving me this lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying unto the elect. All right. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Hashem Shai by Shem Kakadash. All right. Peace to the elect. Shalom.